Hey guys, today's lost sector is Concealed Void on Europa. There's one barrier and 3 overloads. We're going to be using Arc Warlock today with Crown of Tempest. Getting into the build, we're going to be using Healing Rift with Chain Lightning because it jolts targets, it stuns overloads, and Storm Grenades. For the first aspect, we're using Electrostatic Mind. Defeating targets with Arc abilities or defeating jolted or blinded targets creates an Ionic Trace, and Arc Soul, so when we pop a Rift, we get a little bit of extra DPS. For the first fragment, we're going to be using Spark of Beacons. While you're amplified, your Arc Special Weapon Final Blows create a blinding explosion. Spark of Shock, your Arc Grenades jolt targets. Spark of Discharge, Arc Weapon Final Blows have a chance to create an Ionic Trace. And Spark of Feedback, after taking melee damage, we get increased melee damage. For our weapons, we're going to be using an auto rifle for the barriers. Salvager Salvo because it's great at ad clearing and is also Arc to make us orbs. And the Leviathan's Breath for boss damage as well as champion damage. On the artifact, we're going to be using Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle with Elemental Orbs Arc. If you can afford Elemental Fury, it makes it so you deal increased damage to champions. Moving on to the mods. For the Crown of Tempest, we're going to have an Ashes to Assets, so when we get a grenade kill, we'll get increased super energy, and an Arc Siphon mod since we're using Salvager Salvo. On the gloves, we're going to have a firepower, so our grenades will make us orbs, and a grenade kickstart, so that when we throw our grenade, we'll get a portion of our grenade back. On the chest plate, we're going to have 2 arc resistances and a solar resistance today. On the boots, we're going to have an Arc Weapon Surge with recuperation, so when we pick up an orb, we gain 70 HP, and Orbs of Restoration, which will refund a little bit of energy to our ability with the least energy. We're also going to have a powerful attraction on the bond, so that when we use our Rift, it will pick up all the orbs in the area. Alright, moving on to our Warlock Lost Sector run. There will be an overload right here in this first room. What I like to do is pop my Rift right here, so I have a slight safe space on the other side of the wall. Just going to use the Leviathan's Breath Shot and an auto rifle, because the auto rifle applies the jolt quite quickly. That is enough to kill the overload. Once we kill all the rest of the enemies in this room, the blue doorway will go away and we can progress to the next room. This next room is going to have a barrier in it and a lot of shanks. I would suggest bringing a barrier weapon that you're comfortable with, as we will be using it quite a bit in this room to take out the shanks as well as the barrier. If you can, try to apply a jolt to the barrier. The auto rifle does a great job at proccing the jolt damage. The strategy for taking out this overload is to wait till you have your grenade. Since he cannot run anywhere, he's kind of landlocked right there. It's a guaranteed grenade throw as long as you place it in the right spot. Just use the Leviathan's Breath Shot or 2 to take care of the overload. Then once we kill that sniper up there, the doorway will open. Keep in mind, while crossing this gap, there will be an overload and a sniper there, and as you jump across, the exploding shanks will spawn in. I like to use 2 shots of Leviathan's Breath on this overload. For the boss, I would say try to have around 8 shots of Leviathan's Breath and your super. That'll be just enough to kill him. If you have a grenade or a melee off cooldown, you could try to jolt the boss. The jolt damage does help a lot. As long as your boss doesn't get too close to the servitor will not apply a shield on him. And 8 shots of Leviathan's Breath with your super will be enough. Once you've killed the boss, that's all there is to it. Happy farming today.